Hi everybody, welcome to Source Inspired Speaking. Today, Spirit's got a message for you about that higher self part of you, connecting to it, understanding what's really going on, that this is just a manifestation of your true self. Please sit back, remove yourself from any distractions, listen to these words, and I'll check back in with you after the message. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today. Today we wish to speak to you about your true self, your higher self, this being that you are, that is creating your physical experience. You see, who you are, this physical personality that you have, this physical life that you live, just a small manifested part of your true self, your higher being, your belief vibration, your soul energy. You exist at many levels, from this human experience, connecting all the way up to oneness. There is no separation. But who you are here in this physical plane is a manifestation of that higher energy. And so talking about you on a soul level, your belief vibration, what you believe you are, what you believe you wish to experience, begins to manifest when you are formed in the womb. It starts to shape the body. It helps decide what parts of your DNA get activated. And then you are born into this world. When you are first born into this world, the filters between your spiritual self and your physical body are not as strong. Your brain is developing. Your personality of who you are in this physical world is also developing. And so, in that development stage, in that process of learning how to survive in the physical, of filtering out dangers, the brain begins to filter out some of that higher self information. The brain is also manifesting a physical personality for you. Now it's coming through, it's connected to your higher self. The brain's not creating it on its own, but it is creating this experience. And who you become, your personality, your human identity, is just a manifestation of your higher self working through these physical aspects. And a large part of it is created through the connections that the brain makes. This is the reason why, as people call it, the ego, but we like to say your human physical self so strongly fights for survival, so strongly fears death, because part of it realizes that it's not your whole truth. The experience of Nathan here is not the experience of Nathan's soul energy, his belief vibration, that higher self. It is just a manifestation of that, a part of it. And a part of it that was created by this physical experience. So that identity of ownership of a self that Nathan has in this physical will end when this body dies. And it knows it. It's not that the personality of Nathan ends. That's a part of the higher self. But it's not the whole. It's just one manifestation. And in the same way, your brain and physical body know that this personality is its creation, its child. And like any parent with the child, it seeks to protect. So there's this creation of this physical persona, and then the brain does everything it can to protect it, to nurture it, to help it to grow. And part of it does this by sensing the environment around it and doing everything it can to protect the physical body. And in doing so, with all this information that the brain is processing, it often filters out a lot of the higher vibration experience that we are connected to, that we can't even feel in your physical form. And so, as this happens, we say we lose that connection. It's not lost, but we program it out of our normal everyday experience. And it doesn't have to be this way. And Spirit is telling us every day how to change this. Because we are connected. So think about it for a moment. How can you change the programming in your mind if it's based on survival because you still wish to survive here? You still wish to thrive? Well, the people that have the strongest spiritual connection are the ones whose survival depends on receiving this information, when their very identity is so connected to what some call their spiritual gifts, but it's really just that higher vibration part of yourself. Because this physical body, this experience, is just the denser part of your vibration manifested here. But there is more up there. And if you can tie in this physical survival, this physical identity with that higher vibrational information, then it's not beneficial for the brain to filter it out anymore. And then all of a sudden, it starts to break down these filters. It changes its programming so that this information comes through more easily because it's part of your identity. It's part of now this physical creation that the brain so desperately wants to protect and keep safe. So how do you do this? What if you can connect to those moments where information came through, where you, out of instinct, turned away and avoided an accident, or called a friend at just the right moment when something bad was going to happen and you helped save them? What if you can connect to those moments? Think about them. Think about how it felt. And incorporate that into your physical identity. Don't just say it's coincidence. Don't just say, it was instinct, or don't even just say that it was God or angels looking out for you. Because that places it outside of yourself. All of this is true on some level because everything is connected. But if you can own that experience and say, God didn't do this for me, God did this through me. Angels didn't protect for me, angels are working with me in every moment, in every day. Whatever way you need to phrase it, to make it part of your experience, to own it as a part of you. If you can do this, these energies of who you are, this higher vibrational part of your experience, will come through more clearly every day. And it will shift your very nature of your being, your very reality, what you do, how you react to things. And the more it influences your life, the stronger it's going to get, because guess what? Now there's no benefit to filtering it out. Now, if it filters it out, it's hurting this personality, its child, this identity, this earthly experience. So try to do that. Connect. Meditate if you have to. Allow those thoughts to slip through and then own them. Don't think it's coincidence. Don't think it's anything but the truth of God working through your higher self to give you exactly what you need to hear right now. Own it. I did this. It's my connection to a strong love with God and oneness that allowed this to come through, because this is the truth of who I am. And if you can do that, those filters break down. And you'll realize there is so much more to who you are. And that changes everything. We thank you all for being here with us today. We love you in a way that you can't even comprehend right now. But someday you will. And you will realize just how blessed you all truly are. Thank you. Bless you always. So this was a powerful reminder that what we think of as ourselves is just a small part of our actual experience, and it's a manifested part of our reality. It's no different than looking at the hand and not realizing that all the stuff in your head that's going on that you can't see does exist. And realizing that the brain is just filtering out what's needed to survive on a physical level and to protect its creation, which is our earthly personality, our egoic self, if you want to say that. There's so much negative attached to the ego, and I don't like to use that word because of it, but that's how some people recognize it. So it is one and the same, but also realize that it's just one of your creations. This personality, this ego is a creation, and it's one that knows that it was created by your physical experience, and that's why it's so afraid of the physical experience dying, because it knows that in essence that identity of me dies with it, because while that will live on as a part of our soul experience, it's never going to be the whole thing. You know, my experience here as Nathan is never going to be my whole experience as a soul going forward after this body dies. It's just a part, it's just a portion. It's almost like watching a character on TV and you remember what they say, and that's a part of your experience, and you can connect to that personality and laugh about the jokes that they say, but it's not who you are. And I think that's what this physical experience is like too. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this helps you just kind of reframing your mind who you really are, what's really happening here, and make sure you connect to your higher self. Work on changing that filter. Just shift that program a little bit at a time. Remember those moments, like they said, where you've tapped into that energy and it's affected your life and affected the lives of others. And you can make that connection and then allow it to grow, something amazing is going to come from it. So thank you all for joining me. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of all my upcoming messages. If you could love that like button for me, it really helped me out. And go forth, create, experience your truth, share it with others. You can share it in the comments below. Start to experience your life in a more broad perspective, connecting to that oneness that exists, that higher self that you have. Don't just react to the physical. Manifest the physical. and be beautiful. I thank you all. I love you, and I'll see you next time.